This is Dr. Gatz, and I'm here just to talk to you a little bit more about goal setting. I know that you guys are excited out there. I'm excited. I'm so happy with the feedback that I've been getting from everybody out there. I'm happy you guys are working towards those goals and that you're accomplishing things and that you're actually seeing things change for once and all in your life. I'm continuing to do everything that I tell you guys. I'm putting these things in my life. I'm moving forward. I'm grabbing those things that I've always wanted. They're presenting themselves. I'm noticing them. I'm recognizing them. And then I'm going to get them. Make sure that you're tuning in and that you're following all of the information that I've been giving you, the information on YouTube, the information on Facebook, the information that I'm providing on Twitter and also Instagram. All of the long information for you really to review and share with your family and friends are going to be found on YouTube so that you can actually utilize this information and that you can actually go back and review it to make sure that you're actually grasping it. Again, you have to make sure that you can grasp the information and that you fully understand it in order to go ahead and utilize it and apply it to your life and change those relationships that you have with yourself and with others. But today I'm going to answer a question. I just got some feedback from someone just stating that they've been going through something and that they've had a situation with a friend that they've had. And this friendship and relationship that they had has gone way back, and it's been a relationship for a long time. But somehow a third party or someone else had gotten involved in a relationship, and there was some bantering and some bickering and pretty much some fighting that had gone back and forth. They actually said that they wanted to go ahead and revitalize this relationship, go ahead and get it back to where it once was, but they're really having some difficult times because a person doesn't actually want to respond to them the way that they feel that they should be, or when they do respond to them, it seems like the person continues to keep bringing up that same old negative stuff from the past. So you guys wrote in and you asked me, how do you move past this? The first thing is to understand that sometimes healing takes a while. So in other words, healing is a process. No one gets healed full and whole just in a simple period of time. And this healing process is different for every individual. So everyone has their own length of time that it's actually going to take in order for them to be healed. A lot of times as people, we have the perception of believing that, okay, what this person went through, it really wasn't that serious. It really isn't that big of a deal. So this person should actually already be over it. Unfortunately, things does not work that way. People are human beings. They are not robots. It's not something happens and then they go to sleep and then they forget about it and they're renewed the next day and they can move on. They may have spurts and moments where they feel healed and where that thing that happened in the past actually is not affecting them at that given moment. But rest assured, if they're not healed from the situation, it will come back up. It will present itself. And then the problem that a lot of people don't want to deal with is that emotion that comes along with that issue and that things that has happened in the past that the person is now thinking about presents itself. And it's very hard to deal with that emotion. So how do you go about dealing with that emotion, therefore that you're supporting and you're protecting yourself in your own best interest to make sure that you stay mentally healthy, but that you're also protecting the other person and making sure that you're being supportive and nurturing to them so that you can continue to build that relationship? This is somewhat of a balancing act. It's not something that's easy to do. Therefore, you have to be checking your temperature gauge at all times to make sure that you don't overheat, make sure that you stay cool, and make sure that you stay grounded. And only you know what sort of things set you off, what sort of things make you feel good, and what sort of things can calm you down. So you have to gauge that. If a situation is getting heated because now you're trying to repair this relationship and the person isn't giving you the feedback that you need, then you got to be able to remove yourself from the situation. You got to be able to say, oh, I noticed something is going on. It's time to shut it down. It's time to do something different. This isn't working for me. I'm out of here. Because at times when we continue to go ahead and try to communicate and try to work through that situation, that's when the fallout happens. So it's much better to depart and go separate ways and then come back together again at a different time and continue to work on those things. Some of the basic communication skills that I've told you guys about in the past is that making sure that you're writing letters and making sure that you're using different forms of communication other than talking. A lot of times we just want to talk things out, but the problem is sometimes when we use so much information by talking verbally, the person gets to a certain point when they're trying to process that information where they actually shut down. So one of the best things to do is actually, instead of verbalizing something, is actually to subscribe it and write it down so that they can actually read it and reread it and actually get and process the messages and the points that you're actually trying to drive home. So just make sure that if you are in this situation where you really got this relationship and somebody is closest and dearest to your heart and you really want to go ahead and rebuild that relationship again, understand that it's going to take time. It's going to take time to build that relationship. It's not just going to happen overnight. It's not going to be instant grits. And if it is, you probably don't want to eat it anyway. So take the time, make sure that you build things from the foundation up again and get to the point where you guys can actually sit down and have a civilized, clear conversation where both of you can sit down and get both of your points across and feel that both of you are heard. And understand that the other person more than likely will not see everything the exact same way that you see them. One of the biggest problems that stop people from moving forward into relationships and mending pain and hurt is that you're going to convince the other person that you're right. No, stop it. You're not. You're not going to convince anybody that you're right besides yourself. You need to be confident enough and strong enough to understand that you can share your own points, your own views, and your own opinions, and someone else has that same opportunity to go ahead and do the same. They do not have to buy into whatever it is that you're selling. So I hope that this helps you. I hope it clarifies a little bit more for you. The rest of you, if you're having more questions, go ahead and get in contact with me on Facebook or on YouTube, and make sure that you're taking care of yourself so that you can take care of others.